to take you, and now I'm so mad. But that's the way to love. That's how I feel in my heart. I've got to say it. Oh, how I suffer. Oh, how I tried. I gave up my pride just to be by her side. And whosoever tried to take the love that's mine.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, guys. How are you doing? This is your girl Yvonne Michele. We are back here for another episode after last night. But didn't we have a great show last night as we played a lot of Freddie McGregor's tunes? But guess what? Guess what? Guess what? He's here. I told you. We don't give up. We were born winners. We do not give up. We become relentless. We persevere. We push forward and we reach our goals. Yes, we do. So before we do anything else, guys, get on your social media and share this. Share right now, because I am about to introduce to you Mr. Freddie McGregor. I am. You guys have been waiting for this. You've been waiting patiently. You've been dancing. You've been doing your own dancing on your wallpapers by yourself with all the social distancing going on here in the UK. But guys, as promised, the legendary Freddie McGregor is here and is here to speak to you this evening. So without further ado, I am going to bring him in. Okay, hold on, let me just let that play. Here we go. Good evening, Mr. McGregor. How are you?
Yes, greetings. I'm good, thanks.
Greetings. So good to have you here with us.
Yeah, we've been trying for a while. Finally, we're here.
Finally, I'm telling you, perseverance from last. I'll tell you something. I've learned so much in this process, so much of connecting with you, and yesterday and everything, because we were trying, it wasn't happening.
Yeah,
and then,
we tried yesterday, and there was so much technicalities yesterday, but at least finally today we're on. So. We're good.
Yes, we are. And they are showing enough love. The face.
Big shout out to all my peeps. Big shout out to all of my people. Cause, all the listeners are my personal people, Love them so much. So enough love from Freddie to you.
Oh, fantastic. So good to have you. Right, we're just going to go straight into the interview because, you are, held as the godfather of reggae music.
I'm going to say I'm not hearing you as loud as I should be, but let's hope everything is good. If you're hearing me clearly, I will try my best to hear what you're saying and respond as best.
Okay, so I was saying about you are held as the godfather of reggae music.
Well, I have been in it that long. That terminology could fit me very well too, because I've been there since I was 7 years old. I'm 63. I'll be 64 this month, June 27th. So I've been in it all my life. So if I'm the godfather or one of, that's quite fine. That's all right.
So when you were 7, you said because we've done a little bit of research, and it was saying that you started in the reggae business when you were 7 years old.
All right, for my listeners out there, for my fans out there, you can go to YouTube and you can put in Little Freddie After Laughter. And just about once you put in the name Little Freddie, you'll see a bunch of stuff come up from when I was a baby. After Laughter is one of them. Do Good and Good Will Follow You with myself and Ernest Wilson. That came out as Fitzy and Freddie. Then there is Why Did You Do It with Ernest and myself again. There's one called I'm Too Young to Love by myself, 1963, 64. And these songs are there. And I can be honest with you in saying Dennis does have a song as young as any of those songs I mentioned to you. Neither Delroy Wilson, neither Junior Tucker, neither anyone I know really in the industry. Because when I came to Kingston at 7 years old, I ended up living at Mr. Dad's house.
Okay.
So I pretty much became Mr. Dad's little son.
Oh.
I had to when studio was closed in the evening, I have to go into his car, which is a Buick motor car. Back then,
Mhm.
his wife, Mrs. Dad, his daughters, Sandra, um, Tanya, Carol, and myself, we would jump in the car and go home. This was in
Mhm.
Pembroke. So I lived with Mr. Dad for a long time until he boarded me out with a Christian family. So yes, I recorded my first song very young, and they are all available on YouTube. So folks can always go on and check those songs out. You'd be very surprised too. Just check Little Freddie and also check Fitzy, Fitzy and Freddie.
Fitzy.
Yeah,
Fitzy
Fitzy and Freddie.
and Freddie. Right, I've made a note of that, so I'm gonna look some of those things out and put it out there, and so everybody can see where you started. Where you started. I mean, there's people say, "Good evening, Mr. McGregor." Good evening, good evening, and everybody says, "Good
Yeah.
evening." I'm so excited to have you here. We have one of the questions that we had is from a Johnny Mayer from the United States of America, actually. And he was saying that he was introduced to reggae as a teenager when he was in Washington. He saw Third World. And it was at a block party, and it was a song called The Reggae Ambassadors. And he wanted to know if you've ever collaborated with Third World.
On record, no, but we work a lot together live. Um,
Oh,
as a matter of fact, I think the last concert I did in Florida, this was back in February, I think. That featured myself on Third World. It was a big festival, and time was running out, and so Third World went on, and I was closing the event, and so we decided to change things up a bit. So Third World actually called me on, and a couple of my musicians went on stage along with Third World Band, and AJ and I, we had a ball out there. It was at Pompano Amphitheater in
yeah.
Pompano Beach, Florida. And so we were just jamming. AJ once and me once, and we're collaborating, and it was such a wicked vibe, you know. But Kat and I are great friends too. I just spoke to him because he was in the country like 3 days ago, and he called me. He was on a breeding farm doing a
Mhm.
live concert to somewhere, and he
Okay.
called me up and said he didn't know I had horses down there, and we chatted for a while. And but these are my friends, my real friends.
Your real friends. And you
Yeah,
mentioned
man.
you mentioned about your farm. I'm so interested
Yes, I do. I just left
about
from my
it.
farm to come home to actually do this interview.
Mhm. So you were saying that you have horses on your farm as well.
Yes, what I do, I have a 20-acre farm right now. I'm trying to get 20 more, and I
Okay.
breed horses. Those are thoroughbred horses. And so
Right.
we breed them, we sell them, we race them, and I plant food. Right now, I was just there planting a lot of food when I last spoke to you about an hour ago.
Mhm.
We're planting a lot of sorrel right now. We're planting pepper. We have a lot of scotch bonnet that we've just planted. We're
Really?
planting carrots, beetroots. We're planting cantaloupes. We're planting tomatoes, watermelon, pumpkin, sweet corn, and we're doing 2 acres of callaloo and 2 acres of okra as well. And we just planted a whole heap of yellow yam, and a friend of mine just brought 4 crocus bag of yellow yam from the country this morning. So the guys are at the farm planting right now as we speak.
Wow. That must be an amazing feeling. And do you actually work the land yourself as well, or do you just oversee it?
No, we do a lot. We sell and we give away and we sell to local people, because I think food is important, and especially in this time, because if you don't have the
Mhm.
mark of the beast, you can neither buy or sell. And that is why this gentleman want to chip everyone. So I want to
Yeah.
plant some food, and make
Mm.
sure that we can supply those around us, and at least I could say our people at least.
Yes, yes. And I'm glad you brought that up because one of the questions that we had is about what's going on now in the world. And the question was, how do you, what have you learned through the pandemic and how are you coping through this season that we are going through now?
Okay, good question. Um, we see what is happening. We understand the hoax that's going down. We understand the genuine parts of it because you have to break it down into different parts. I have my own opinions. People have theirs,
Hmm.
but I think somehow if we read and study the good book, what is happening now wouldn't be too strange to us.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And let me give you a brief synopsis of what I'm thinking here. Right now, there's an invisible war because people is always looking for bombs to drop on guns when they talk about war. I think time and technology and science have become so far advanced that people don't need to fly from one country, ask people to accommodate your planes to refuel and fly again to the other country to drop bombs. People are way more sophisticated now. So we're experiencing an invisible war.
Yeah.
Back in the day, way before us, we had germ warfare. That's not anything new either.
Hmm.
So they just flipped the script and they put the germ on us. Now, to be honest, if you ask my personal opinion and what I have to say to the world where this is concerned, there has been a long situation where they want to dilute our population. As a matter of fact, they don't want us around. If I'm to be more frank, they don't want to see us around. This place was never created for us to be a part of it in their eyes. In their eyes. And maybe they are quite right too. Because if you look at us, we look different from these people. And we have a place that we come from where all our people look alike. So maybe it's time that all Africans must look to Africa because we weren't original inhabitants of the West. Our heritage is back home. And so we find ourselves here through slavery. And these people are bright and bold enough to tell us today that they don't like us because we see it on television, we see it everywhere. And I'm thinking this is a last resort. And I am going to make a song that says, if you kneel in my neck anymore, I want five for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dead serious. I'm really
Mm,
serious. Um,
yeah.
in the Constitution of the United States of America, it tells you clearly it was never designed for black people. It's all about white folks. And I'm not racist, far from anything like that. I have so many white friends.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. But as I look on television now, I see many white folks out there, many white folks out there who is fed up with the way they have treated us over the years and still treating us, including police officers who are now speaking out. So I want this pressure to continue because the Constitution itself needs to change. The Constitution has to change to include black people. Yes. As the Constitution is written, it does not include black people. Black people doesn't have the same right as them. We live in our community, and your kids and my kids go out there, and one kid is white and one is black. The white kid has a BB gun, he's fine. The police comes on and he sees a black kid with a BB gun, he's gonna shot him, arrest him, or kill him. No, this country, we slave for this country. We build these countries, including the United Kingdom. We build these places. It's
Yes, we
time that they respect us. It cannot work without us. So we're not gonna sit here and start complaining about it has been happening for too long. We're now saying end it right now. It must end right now. Include us in the Constitution, or there's no Constitution. His Majesty say until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior, is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. This whole wide world is going to be war. And you look, if they don't get it right, it's going to be war.
Yes.
We see it. We see it in the streets. We don't enjoy people looting and all of that stuff. They're not doing it necessarily because they want those sneakers and stuff. They're sending a message too. It's a message that they're sending. Yes, all of us who are out there in the street, we're sending this message. Those days are over. We're not taking this anymore. It's over. That is my take on it. It's over. Now these guys are trying to vaccinate. What the hell with this whole vaccination business? From me, a little baby, me get one vaccination in my left arm here, so leave one little bump on my shoulder here, so. And we don't even understand what it was. Them say polio. Them say all kind of something. We get it, so we take it. We never know what it was. But here comes this gentleman and his wife that want to come vaccinate the whole wide world. Did you know that for 32 years they have been vaccinating children and nobody checked to see what's in those vaccines? Poison, mercury, swine urine, all kinds of different things. These people are deliberate, they are bright, they are feisty. I'm telling you, including Bill Gates and his friends.
Come on now.
Get the hell out of here, Bill Gates and your friends. We don't respect your money. We respect humanity. You want to try vaccinate everybody so you can control everybody. You're not God. Did you ever take a pump and blow back breath in one of your family who died? You can't. You're no God around here. The rich and his money shall be eaten and conquered. That's why I'm planting food. Food, because the money can't be eaten, but food can be eaten. This is a different day in our life, darling. And we take this very seriously. We take this seriously. This is bulls.
I hear you. Thank you.
They're passing some draconian laws in the United Kingdom too. Some draconian laws. Come on. You can't force people to do and be what they don't want to be. And in case people not paying attention to, some lawyers, Ted Kennedy's grandson and a group of doctors and lawyers sued the United States of America 10 years ago over the same vaccine issue. They have been complaining bitterly. They have finally won that lawsuit. So while Bill Gates and his friends think they were going to win the contract to vaccinate every human being on earth and control them, that is all gone through the window now. Because Donald Trump just signed in law that no American have the right to accept no vaccine. You don't have to accept it. You have the right to know what's in it. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. So the script has now been flipped. This is a joke. Madagascar. I mean, these people go approach the president offering him $20 million to poison the remedy that he found to cure his people. What kind of madness is happening? The World Health Organization need to go to prison. Every one of them, everybody. This is a joke. It must stop. It must stop.
Yeah, it must stop. Talk the truth. Talk the truth. Talk the truth.
We're no longer afraid. We're not afraid of anything. We're not afraid of anything. We are not afraid anymore. The world is different today as we speak. We are not afraid of anything.
That's right.
We've been going through this all our lives. We don't care anymore. We're not afraid. We're not afraid. We see all of the top celebrities in America coming out, speaking out now. I was always wondering, where were they? We don't care anymore. We're speaking up. This is a different time. It has to change. The United States Constitution must change to include our people. It must. If not, nothing will change here.
That's right. That's right.
Draconian kind of style. What they think? Look how long slavery done. Look how long we done it. Systematically, them still try control we that way there. No. Yeah. No, my grandchildren are not going through this. I can assure you.
No, this is it, because this is what I'm saying, Freddie. My grandson cannot go through what we have gone through.
No. We're making sure that they won't. I can tell you, young kids out there, stay safe, stay strong. We are protecting you. We are running your lives for the future. You are going to be fine. We're not taking any bulls anymore.
No. We had a question here that says Jamaica is a small island, but a huge influence in the world through music, food, and culture. How do you think Jamaica can use this influence with the world crisis of racism that we are currently witnessing today? And that is from a young person. It's actually from my daughter, Taylor
Oh
Shane.
wow.
The question that she
Yeah,
wanted to
greetings. Great question. And I'll say it this way. Jamaica is a very small island. Yeah.
ask.
And they consider us third world. I consider us first world. Okay.
Okay.
Um, there is a movement going on, and it's very political. Venezuela has a gentleman called Hugo Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
And Hugo Chavez, we love him because Hugo Chavez understands the Caribbean and how it works. He understands Cuba. He understands the struggle period. Venezuela has oil, a lot of it.
Right.
And so the United States always have their eyes on such countries.
Mm.
Us Jamaica here, we get oil through Venezuela for very cheap, courtesy of Hugo Chavez. But the other day, when America set up this guy, Guardia, to depose the president, they were planning on stealing the oil and the gold in Venezuela.
Mm.
But Russia was smarter than them because Russia was always investing in Venezuela, so
Mm-hmm.
towards China. So they were able to secure the oil before America came. So America then decided they're going to boycott Cuba. Now, what kind of rubbish is this? China, Russia, biggest communist countries on the face of the earth, good
Mm-hmm.
or bad. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Little Cuba, the side of Jamaica. Now, do America nothing? Why are you trading with China as your biggest trading partner and you're still fighting against Cuba? Are you fighting against communism? Are you
Mm.
fighting against just ordinary people? Which one is it?
Mm.
America need to get them act together. And I can tell you right now, all these questions and answers, Donald J. Trump will never see the light of day in office after this one. Right? We don't care anymore. We don't care. It is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. I'm watching CNN while I'm speaking to you, and the
Yeah.
street is overflowing with people out there. And where are they? American crisis. Oh, Houston. This is Houston, where Mr. Floyd comes from. Come
Yeah.
on. This is a different day in our life.
Mm.
It's time for all our youngsters to take stock of what is happening right now. If you were playing around, please stop the playing around. Tell yourselves you're grown men and women because the struggle is affecting you too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit idly and pretend that you don't understand what is happening. Because if you don't, now is the time for you to try to understand it. Because it's your life and livelihood with at stake, not me and you. We are already here. We've gone through many years. So our concern is our generations to come. So we
Come on.
need our youth to pay serious attention to what is happening. Learn what is happening. Learn what is happening. It's very important. This is a
Mm.
very important time for us as a people.
As a people, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the questions are coming in fast and thick. I mean,
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind. That's why
okay,
I'm here. I don't
yeah,
mind.
yes, yes, yes. I mean, we are on a political path, but there's lots of questions about your music. But one of the questions that came out is, what personal or professional knowledge and experience do you have that can help others improve their lives now? So that could be anything that you've been through in your life. What could you say would give us some knowledge or experience of what you have experienced in the past?
I have experienced a lot, I must say. I have experienced a lot. And
Yeah.
in different ways and in different areas. Music has been my thing because I started when I was 7. I
Yeah.
didn't do another job until this day. When when I was about 8 years old, my stepfather used to work at a place called Monimus Sugar Factory, and I got a
Mhm.
summer job over there to just use a hose and fill the drums with molasses. That's the only other job I can remember. My next job outside of music, well, it's still in music, is when we're at Studio One and there were no sessions going on. Mr. Dad used to send myself, Leroy Wallace, we call him Horsemouth, one of the great drummers, and Earl Morgan from the Eptones fame. We used to press records around the back at the pressing plant there. That was
Okay, so
when
that.
no sessions was happening and Mr. Dad was always finding stuff for us to do. We did that for a while. And it's great fun because we learn how to do that. Put the vinyl on top, put the label there, put one on the other side of it, bring the lever down, push it on, bring up the steam, and give it a certain time. You pull it out, you see this big round record come out. You put it on another thing, it spins around and cut the edges, so you get the actual LP in your hand. You stack it on a spingle until you get 25, and so someone come for that 25, put them in the sleeves, and pack them there ready to go out. So we've been there and done that too. But what I would say to people, I think we need to go back to self here. We need to go back to some kind of basics. You say
Yeah.
education is a key. And I
Mhm.
want to encourage every single youth to do what I didn't do. I didn't do it because I didn't have the opportunity to do it. But
Right.
most kids have the opportunity today to do it. Go to school. Learn as much as you can while you're at that stage. Because when you
Mhm.
finish school, you want to be able to move on in this world and become successful. But you
Yeah.
have to have something that will make you successful. So, in whatever you choose to do, just tell yourself, this is what I love, this is what I want to do, and go all the way for it. Just go all the way, do it. I tell kids that when you're going to school, you have nothing else to worry about. All you have to worry about is doing your schoolwork because your parents taking care of everything else.
Mhm.
Once you get through schooling now, you're on your own to cross the other barriers that are there. But right now, you have the opportunity. Your only job is to go to school and do well.
True.
And so I'm encouraging every youth to do that. In the meantime, I can only tell people what I do. You see, I recorded so many songs over the years,
Yeah.
and I'm sure I have over 1,000 songs. When you combine albums and
Yeah.
singles, a
Mhm.
lot. Um, Unfortunately for me, it works because I'm able to live by royalties today based on the work I've done, and I
Mm.
was able to properly document my works, have them copyrighted. After a while, I learned because I'm always seeking to learn how to set up my own publishing company, find people to administer my company, and
Yeah.
so I am on top of my game. I
Right.
urge everyone who's talented in whatever field, go for it 100%. One thing I would tell you to take the chance with is wherever you live, you go buy one of them little what you call shovel, plant up the backyard.
Yeah.
You see, if you can plant 5 root of cantaloupe and 10 root of onion and 5 root of tomato,
Yeah.
anything you can, do it because it will save your mom and dad from going to the store to buy that very same thing. If we
Right.
get back to the ground, we're going to be good. Right now, it appears as though I love farming more than music. No, I love music. Music is my first. But I have this
Right.
affinity for farming because when you plant some stuff in the ground and you see it coming, and then
Mm.
you see it start to blossom, and then you see it start bearing, and you see those red tomatoes and those beautiful beetroot that bust up out of the ground and stuff. I don't think there's a greater joy than that. Trust me. When I see a
Yeah.
truck drive on onto my farm and come and
Mhm.
buy 36,000 pounds of cantaloupe and
Wow.
40 something thousand pounds of okra. I just stood there and I laughed. I wasn't
Mhm.
making the greatest money on it, but it gave me great joy
Look
because I
great.
know I'm helping to feed people across the world and we give away a lot of it too. So there are little things we can do to make ourselves comfortable, especially through this time, because I think that's what we should use this time to do. The whole quarantine, the whole thing, because people don't have much to do as a result. So these are the little things you can find to do. In Jamaica, we're more fortunate because we get a chance to plant stuff in our yards.
Mm.
By law, we can plant certain material. So
Yeah.
if you have 5 people living in your yard, 5 people is allowed to plant 5 plants. So 25. They have
Right.
25 nice plants to get up and take care of in the mornings until they come to fruition. So
Yeah.
my thing is just farming, and more. I have some planting on my farm, and I have a particular banana. I have no idea where it come from. I'm going to research it. But when that
Mhm.
banana bears, the bunch, I'm 5'7", so that banana looks like about 6 foot something
Wow.
from the bunch up top
Good to the
to
top.
where it stops down
Okay.
there, and the fingers are so huge. I think that banana was created specifically, I'm told, for like banana chips and stuff like that. But I
Right.
have two of it on my farm, and I'm getting a lot of suckers now, and I'm just grinning my teeth because I can't wait to just plant them out. And moringa, again, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Moringa,
Thing. Yeah.
I have the most, well, I want to think that I have the most moringa now in Jamaica. And certainly, without any semblance of doubt, I have the longest moringa pods in Jamaica. I wouldn't say Caribbean because I got my species in Barbados. And I
Hmm.
snake 6 seeds in my socks back to Jamaica. And I plant them, and trust me, the amount of moringa I have right now, it's ridiculous. So I'm looking to export moringa, both the powder, the seeds, and I'm looking
Hmm.
into doing the oil as well.
Good. Good. This is
And
guys.
moringa is a superfood. Trust me,
Yeah.
moringa is something that everyone should just tune into
Mm.
it. I have this thing on my phone. I got it from California. They sell it as vegetable in the vegetable section. The young
Hmm.
moringa, the young one is just starting to seed. It's like $6.49 a pound in supermarkets in California. So there's a lot we can do, and this is Jamaica, so we have land we can grow. But
You
I
got.
know what the UK is like. We have backyard because when I was there, I plant stuff too. And nice. I have
Mhm.
a friend, King Sounds. If you ever see him garden, you think of Jamaica, him there farm in London. So we can do it. We can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just started planting myself. I have got a tomato plant.
What? Kudos to you. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You
Yeah.
see,
And it's,
once you plant and you take care of it, it's going to
yeah.
bear for you.
Yeah.
And that's the same with just about anything you choose to plant. So it doesn't hurt to plant, does it? No,
No.
because we always have spare time. It keeps
Yeah.
us out of trouble too. It keeps the youths out of trouble. And when
Yeah.
you get the knack of it and realize and understand how great this process is, you might
Yeah.
just nobody want to have no upper friend and just start planting.
Okay. Have we got time for just a few more questions, Freddie?
Yes, of course. Yes, I'm up
Okay.
for it. I left my farm to come here and do this with you, so I ain't
Thank
quitting.
Okay, cool. This is what we were saying yesterday. We're not quit. We're gonna
Right?
go.
We're going to make it work. Yeah.
So we played all the tracks yesterday. So we're just talking today. So we have a question from Leah Debbie Marquis. She says, "What do you think? What do you think of the current dancehall music? Do you think it has changed the values in music and the value towards women?"
It certainly has, and I must commend her for that question. It has. If you go back to where we're coming from, and let me just go back to say Dennis Brown, John Holt
Hmm.
Gregory, Master Griffiths, myself, Barry Salmon, are totally different from what's
Yes.
happening now. My greatest disappointment, though, is that we've left a great legacy of music for this generation, and I'm sort of upset that they've not used it as well as they could have.
Mm.
Um, Rather than use what we've created and leave as legacy, they've gone on to other things that is unknown. They're trying things that is
Mm.
unknown. While I don't think anything is wrong with trying things, but you have to stick to your root
Mhm.
because where you come from and your what your culture represents is you, and you shouldn't give that up for anything else, because in fact we as a country, we are depending on our younger generation to uphold and continue the culture. So you can't just now come along and say, boy, me not like that no more, yeah, man. Me I go trap and me I go hip hop. No, Jay-Z them do hip hop. Trap people do trap. You can't now come get trapped into that.
Mhm.
Then what about your culture? What about you in Jamaica? The little youths that walk around the street, everybody have them pants on like a foreign them come from. Come on.
Mhm.
This is Jamaica land we love. Jamaica is different from foreign. So we could live
Exactly.
like Jamaicans in Jamaica. Make we keep our culture and maintain it. However, while saying that, there are some new happenings because I must also be honest and fair in saying since the arrival of Chronics, Protege,
Mhm.
Dre Island, you have a bunch of youngsters who have come through and have decided that I am cultural, I am keeping it cultural. This is where I'm going with my music. And
Mhm.
they have made a great mark since their arrival.
Mhm.
And we see the likes of Coffee as a young lady.
Yeah.
She's come through brilliantly. And we see Leela Ike coming through now. And we see many others. And what is exciting for me is that these kids, both young lady and young men, they have a great level of consciousness. And
Yes.
that is what is going to take us through. Because we want to eliminate the greater level of indecency, slackness, and what I call madness. We
Mhm.
must give the more positive music a chance to survive.
Mhm.
Um, right now in Jamaica, we're going through a thing where I think our abilities have gotten so low that our Minister of Culture has asked us to get involved with our festival songs.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's something that I should preempt, but I'm sure it will be in the news soon. So I guess I can say to you that she's asked some of us major artists to write the new festival songs and
Right.
to actually perform them. Because I think they want to go back to an era where songs like Bam Bam was a festival song. But Bam Bam as a festival song lasted until today because everybody still love Bam Bam. And it has not even made mention of festival. And you could look back at Tommy Cowan and the Jamaicas, Ba Ba Boom. Those
Mm.
were potent festival songs. You could go back to Desmond Decker. I mean, some great festival songs. So what we're doing now is we're writing and actually performing this year's festival song. So I have written one.
Mhm.
I'm told that Buju Banton has written one.
Okay.
I I know that Toots have written one. And I think Lost, the group Lost has submitted one.
Mhm.
I am thinking that Tony Rebel is in, and I hear arguments that Romy and Virgo is in. I don't hear anything from Beres yet, but
Mhm.
it will be interesting when these songs come together and is ready to be played, which is soon, I think within a week, week and a half. And
Okay.
so I think it will help to lift the the whole level of festivities. Because, for example, for those who are not understanding me clearly, within the last couple of years, our festival songs are about Jamaica, the land of wood and water, the land of rum, and the land of this and that and that. Yeah, we want to put that behind us. We want to make songs with substance, songs that
Right.
will last way after festival,
Mhm.
and that will only happen with your ability to create those kinds of songs. Hence the reason she's asked us to get involved with it. So we should see a new movement as it relates to that. But I am looking at the new crop of artists. I don't even want to call them necessarily dancehall artists. Those artists that I've just mentioned, they are the new crop of artists, and I'm looking for great things from them. And I
Mhm.
would want to think that it will influence the younger generation even to
Mhm.
consider excellence when you're making music. Because when I started in music, one of the thing about me, is I don't think I made a song now that I would look back at through my career and say I shouldn't have made that song.
Right.
Because I was always careful. I was always careful to make great songs because the first thing lodged in my head when I started is why? But I like make some song that can last for long.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure I didn't understand the secret of it or anything, but I just knew that I wanted to make some songs that wouldn't just disappear with time. They would last well over time. Sometimes I myself, I become shocked That songs that I've made from Woyo Woyo when are still as popular today, like they are new. So it really works for me, and I can say it to the younger generation of artists, producers, musicians. Just try and create the best music you can, because
Yeah,
they will last for a lifetime. Mediocre stuff will only last for a couple of weeks.
yeah. Have you got any collaborations lined up with any of the younger ones there? Any
Yes, I would like to do a collab with Leela Ike. I've said it on ear the other day here. And besides, she knows she's one of the artists that I love very much, because way before she broke out, the first time I heard her on that Promised Land rhythm, I said to myself, yeah, this young lady gone clear. And
Mhm.
on numerous interviews, I said outright, I said Leela is the next artist, so look out for her. And I'm glad that she's finally getting a breakthrough, and she knows that too. But yes, I would love to do collabs, but I'm well. I have a song with Jebu out of Hawaii, and we're
Mhm.
considering using that song for my new album project. And we're looking at other collabs too. I just recorded a song myself and Lost, and
Mhm.
we're doing so much right now. But I'm just making the albums as I know how to,
Yeah.
In true Freddie McGregor style. And I always say, boy, when my albums are finished, I just certainly hope that the people love what I've created for them. But I think I have a knack for it, because when I make certain songs and I want to make a song for England, just shut me and think back about all the sister in them in the dance, how them a rock to the thing. Them things that give me great. No, those are the things that give me inspiration to record songs. And
I hear.
England happens to be my favorite place when it comes to that, because I used to go to show beans and them stuff the back in the day, and them vibe are just nice. And when you see the history in them just a rock to the music, I'm gonna tell people say England people love the music the most.
Yeah.
They take it quite seriously. No
Do.
disrespect to America and some other marketplaces, but the UK are my favorite place. So
Yeah.
me usually just think about how the people are going to react to this music, how the sisters them are going to dance to it, how the thing are going to go, and that helped me to create my music a certain way and with a certain style.
Yes. 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 We've got people here on the Facebook. They're saying they're asking if you would just do a little a cappella for them. That's what they're asking. The Facebook is absolutely going crazy.
Did they ask for a particular song?
Any particular song, guys? Any particular song? They haven't said anything. They just said a cappella would be nice.
Oh my!
So
Well, I can
yes,
do it still. I can do a cappella for my people. Man, I have no problem with that, man. I'm a longing to see you. I wanna know how you've been doing over yonder. I'm gonna catch this flight, and when I reach my destination, I hope you'll be smiling, longing to see me. I thought you'd drop me a line just to say hello, my friends. I'm doing fine. It doesn't matter anyway now, 'cause my love for you will never change. And anyway, not a word you didn't make me hear you. Push comes to shove, then everybody's gonna put the blame on me for loving you, for loving you. When push comes to shove, then everybody's gonna put the blame on me. And I don't care, because I love my people.
yes, 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 yes. That is so. Oh my goodness, that is just fire, 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 fire. That's all I've got. Fire emoji everywhere. The people are so
Wow.
amazing. You know what you said about the UK, and it's true. We absolutely adore you. We adore your music. We adore your vibe and the energy that you give. You know, every time you step on stage or create a record, we just love you, and we wanted you to know that we
I
love
thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we love you, man. We love you. Listen, before I let you go,
Hmm.
before I let you go, which I'm going to ask you, which one out of all of your songs that you've written, which one is your favorite?
Oh my, that is a serious question. No, that one going to mash me up. And I tell you why it going to mash me up now. Of all the albums I've had, which is about 40, and numerous singles. A lot of songs that have become popular are extremely popular. They're
Yeah.
fine, but there are songs on some of these albums that end up my favorite songs that never become so popular, but they're
Right.
sitting on the album. For example, I have an album named Across the Border,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a song on that album called High Tension. And I just love that song. It says, Tribulation we must bear, trial and crosses rest in our way. But it's a song just, it's like a prayer almost, you know? And I
Yeah.
recorded a song for Dilly over at Stingray, as they're my family, and big up Stingray family as well. I recorded a song named Showers of Blessing. Because me have this deep spiritual thing inside of me, you know? That's how I grew, really, you know? And enough of
Yes.
my song them, it just happened to come out that way because that's me, that's who I am, what I am. And that
Yeah.
song Showers of Blessing is a prayer, and I love that song so much. And there are many songs I have that I love dearly that never become that big popular song, but are
Yeah.
beautiful songs. But I thank people for loving my music, you know, because I just try to create what I call the best music for the people who love Freddie, and I will continue to do so for as long as I can. I'm working on a new album now. Let me tell you something, sis. Me have a
Mm-hmm.
new tune I dropped
Oh,
this week, yeah, about this
okay.
corona thing, yeah. And let me tell you something when it drop. A fire, fire, it bad it, bad it, bad it, bad it, bad it. Don't say nothing about quarantine. But let me tell you, it's on Ramesh label and it's fire. Trust me.
Fire.
Yes. And we're making a video this week as well. So it's just
Okay.
one of them wicked songs. It's a style that most people don't catch Freddie McGregor in a fair while. One of my early kind of style. I'm
Yeah.
not even giving away too much of it. I just tell you the song named Ballin'. It's called
Well,
Ballin'. You go and get it. You will
thank
be
you.
one of the first to have it because I must send it to you when we're
Thank
done.
you. Thank
Okay?
you. Yes. Absolutely appreciate that.
Yes, my
Let's
sister. You know, people are gonna vex with me. Because you know, so I promise you, I'm gonna send it to you, because I don't send it to anybody yet, because it's not even mixed yet. We're mixing it tomorrow. But I'm gonna send it to you for your listen. So you're the first person in the whole entire UK. I'm gonna get that song. I'm gonna send it to you later to make up for yesterday.
Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Listen,
Yeah,
we love
man.
you. We love you.
Bless
There's
him.
there's- can you get a Freddie McGregor dub plate?
Someone is asking that.
Yeah, they are.
I do that. I do that every. Actually, this Corona thing here, and like I said earlier, we know what's going down. Um,
Hmm.
if we all had Corona, we would have
Yeah,
just go use some bleach and some what is up name, and would have all right with it. Lysol.
yeah,
That one
like.
are bigger than we, and bigger than Corona. But whatever
Hmm.
it is, it's an unseen one, and we're fighting it, and we're fighting it well. It's an unseen war that they're
Yeah,
raging on us, but we
yeah.
we, we kind of understand it, so we're okay. Thank God for all of the people
Hmm.
who were able not to get it so far, and hopefully you don't. And the ones who got it and have recovered, God be the glory to you. Um,
Amen.
for those who contracted it and never made it through, we
Hmm.
say rip, just rest in peace, because God has a different work
Yeah,
for you to do.
yeah.
So
True.
it's all good, even though it may seem bad. It's all good because God do everything great for the people who know, love Him, and trust Him.
Yeah.
So we know say people have to pass so people can continue. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's just God at work doing what He does best, because Him control the universe. But we just want to send love to everyone out there and all the families. Just strengthen yourselves. This is a rough time on everyone, I'm sure. So may God bless you all. Do the best you can. Take care of the family, take care of the young ones and the elderly, especially, because I have a thing that I always say to my people. His
Yeah.
Majesty's words, they've never gone wrong. And His Majesty always say to see that the hungry fed, the sick
Hmm.
nourished, the aged protected, and the infants cared for. And I think if we in our daily lives can contribute to any one of those, we won't be doing too badly. We're
Yeah.
making a positive contribution.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Freddie McGregor, I want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with us today. We want you to know that we love you It's still going on, asking questions. I know that I know that you are very, very busy and you need to get back to the farm. And I just want to appreciate you today for taking the time out to be with
Yeah, man,
us.
I'm very glad it happened today. Cause yesterday I was a bit nervous. Cause you never get me plan to do an interview and not do it for reasons not beyond my control. It would have to be something beyond. Cause I don't do that. My fans are me. I love them just as much as I love myself. So I don't disappoint my people. But I'm glad for those who tuned in today. And love you all, man. God bless you. God bless
They
you.
are here. So, guys, you've heard it here, Mr. Freddie McGregor, alongside your girl Yvonne Michele. This is conversation. Oh, man, this is how we do it on my day.
Yes.
This is how we do it. And let's
Yes.
just
Thank
see
you so
what.
much, my sister.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Perseverance pays off. It really does pay off. So, guys out there, if you're doing something and it doesn't work, keep going, keep doing, keep
Yeah,
pressing.
just keep doing it. It will work. If you
It
stop,
will.
it's not going to work. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Yeah,
It will work.
absolutely. So, Mr. Freddie McGregor, you will hear from me again. Listen, when that tune comes,
We'll
yeah,
talk again. I promise you.
yeah, we will. So,
Enough
thank you
love,
very
my
much.
sister.
I'm going to play you out with a track that I know that everybody loves. They kept asking for it yesterday. So, I'm going to play Big Ship, Sailing on the Ocean.
Yes.
And that's to go out to all of our Windrush listeners as well. You know,
Yes.
we Windrush community have had it so hard in this country. And so
Yes,
we
I
can't
know.
forget them. We cannot
Yes.
forget them. So we are building, we are doing something, we're creating something just for them for this October. So, you know,
Oh
if
my
you're
God.
if they open the ports and you're in the country, you would be very, very welcome to come.
Well,
And
I love to know what's happening because I'm a great supporter of my people and my communities and anything to do with it. It's about time because we are freedom fighters. We're not just going to sing it and say it, we're defend it. That's where we are today. And who is not on the same level, go find yourself quick because time is running out.
that's right. That is right. Mr. Freddie
Mm.
McGregor, sending you much
Thanks, my
love.
sister, Yvonne. God bless you. You take care.
You
And
too.
we'll
I'm going
speak.
to play out with this one. Here we go. Oh, if I not put the volume on, there we go.
Wow.
Especially for you. Oh, thank you so much, sir. I'm going to let you go. Sending you much love. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
When you're ready, you must hold on steady. We're moving off at lightning speed. Yeah. Take a seat and wait till I'm ready. I'm coming, so hold on steady.
Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. There's a time when the sea gets rough. Okay, guys, you heard it here. You heard it. You see it live and direct here. I am absolutely buzzing. But do remember, after this, we have After Dark show where all the singles and married people who want to talk about relationships, in and out of whatever it is. Listen, this week the government have said that you cannot have sex with somebody that's not in your household. Listen, we're going to be talking about that in the Zoom room. We've got a male panel this week, so do join me right here. We are going live on LUR. That's www.lurlive.co.uk. We are also live on Facebook, guys, so stay right here. I will be back in just over 30 minutes. All right, so guys, you heard it here first. Listen. For all the naysayers, that was for you. Okay, so listen, I'm sending out love, I'm sending out respect to everybody, and I'm saying don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams, guys. So listen, we'll be back. We're back at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go and have a water trot, and I'm going to have something to nyam, and then I'm going to be right back. Guys, love you lots. I'll be back. Ciao.
Say we're sailing on the ocean. Yeah. Say there's a time when the sea gets rough, the wind is blowing and the fishes keep moving. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Sit down, hold on tight, get ready, cause we're sailing.
Last one. Big ship sailing on the ocean. To all the Windrush massive, this is for you. Big ship sailing on the ocean.
We got to come over.
Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. I'll be right back. Do tune in 10 o'clock right here. 10 o'clock. Ciao for now. Ciao for now.